What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on Gran Turismo 4 for another car story. This time we're going to be driving something quite a bit different. We are going to be driving the second generation. A lot of people don't know about the first generation. This is the first one that came to the United States, but the second generation Toyota Prius. So I don't know what all this battery stuff is or if it matters or why it's telling me my MPG or my fuel usage or anything. I really don't care, to be honest with you. I don't know what that is. It just gave it to me and I don't know how to turn it off. So let's get rocking. We're at, what is this called? Tsukuba, but it is wet. So I figured this would be a good opportunity while we are here driving a car that is not going to be affected very much by rain because it's very slow, very wet. As a car, I would know because I owned one of these. So there's a nice standing start. 0 to 60 is going to be a lot. Look at that, 10 miles per gallon, which is actually somehow going up. How, I don't know. Very slow car. But anyways, the reason that I want to do it on this car is because a lot of you know, before I owned my blue Chevrolet Camaro, oh, it's very slippery even for a Prius. All right, good to know. I owned the Toyota Prius. I owned the third gen in basically the same color. But I'm very familiar with these cars because actually a family member of mine owned both a third gen, like my car, a 2015, and a second gen one like this. So I've spent a lot of time in my life driving Priuses. And again, it's kind of a part of my car journey. I know it's not an interesting car. It's not a cool car by any means. It's not a special car. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this car is not mimicking CVT gears or how this works, but no matter. We're just going to go with it. It's very interesting. It's very bad. It handles terribly. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, this is, again, an interesting car, if nothing else, just because, again, it's a car that I owned. It was kind of my first car that I purchased. I spent basically all the money I had to my name at the time to buy a Prius because I was 20. 20. I had just turned 21, I guess, like literally the week before I turned 21. And I said, what's the perfect car for a 21-year-old that has no money and is going through college and does a fair bit of driving, but not anything crazy? A hybrid, of course. And so I bought a hybrid offset family member. Got a good deal on it. It was very well cared for, very well maintained. And I owned that car for what? Let's see, 20. I turned 2020. No, I turned 21 in 2018. So I owned that car for about 3.5 years, not quite 4 years. So for a long time, my car was named Scoot, short for Scooter. Why? I have absolutely no idea. I look at cars and they're all given names via stories, not via, likeness or whatever. I just looked at it and said, yep, that's Scooter. It's got to be. Why? Not a damn clue. But I don't know whatever happened to Scoot. I sold him several years ago now when I got Bluey, and don't know what he's up to. But as far as I know, he's still kicking. He's probably got a gazillion miles because everybody except me just drives the heck out of their daily commuter hybrid cars and doesn't care about their condition and whatnot. But I was not like that. I took very good care of my car. Loved it to death, as I do every car I drive, but especially the ones I own. And again, it was just kind of my first personal car that I ever owned. So I don't think I have any like YouTube videos highlighting Scoot, but he did make an appearance on some other posts and other things. So he's out there. You just got to dig for him. But yeah, they didn't have a third gen Prius obviously when this game came out in like 2004 or whatever, because it hadn't happened yet. But the second gen Prius was brand new. I think it came out in like 2003 for the United States. I don't know about in Japan. May have been 2003 as well there. But so it was brand new for the most part. Apparently we can only go 84 miles an hour. I can attest that I have taken mine. Again, it was a third gen, but I took mine to 102, but that's a story for another day. So there was no video proof of that, thank goodness. But it does do 102. It takes a while, but it does do 102. So, yeah, anyways, not exactly sure what my point is of discussing all of this, but I just wanted to highlight it because, again, early in this playthrough, it's an interesting car on this game. It's featured. There are some interesting cars, and this is a special one to me. So as you can see, it tells us our hybrid versus battery powertrain usage. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with any of that information. It looks like we're recharging the batteries when off throttle, which makes sense. This has very bad handling, especially off throttle under braking. And again, I don't know what the battery pack thing means, if technically we're going to be recharging that as we go, because, every time you're braking, you're regenerating the batteries. Again, I think that this car had CVT gears. Maybe it did not. Maybe it was just like a one-speed thing like an electric car would be, I really don't know. I assumed it would have CVT gears because it is a hybrid, not an electric car, but I honestly don't remember, and I never owned a second gen, of course, to know for sure. But thought it would be interesting to drive this kind of at home in Japan in the wet, since it's not very fast and not very sporty regardless. But again, love this car. It did save my life, actually. I'll talk about that. I've told that story a couple times, but I don't think I've ever told it in the channel. On the way back from a bachelor party for one of my college roommates, this was in 2020, during peak of the lockdowns. I mean, the first time I went out with my cystic fibrosis, the first time I like left the house for like literally 3 months when the lockdown started. I went to a bachelor party for my college roommate that was getting married, and I was standing up in said wedding. And so I had to go out eventually because I had, I'd been inside literally for 4 or 5 months. And so 3 months later after lockdowns, because it was like June or maybe July, I think it was June of 2020, and was at said bachelor party, and I lived near one of the other groomsmen. And I am not a drinker. I never have been, never will be, but not a big drinker. And said roommate had been drinking a little bit. He was still fine. He was not sober, but he was perfectly fine to drive. He had had a couple, but he was not wasted by any means. But anyways, I decided, hey, we're going back to the same place. I'll just drive with you in case you need anything, or in case something happens, in case you get stopped by a law enforcement officer or anything of the sort. Like, not a problem. I'm not in any hurry. I don't know where we are. This said groom was getting married, and I don't know where. He lives in the middle of friggin' nowhere. So yeah, we're tag teaming back together, and I had gotten out of town, whatever, because I had my GPS a little quicker than he had. So he was behind me. So I was just making sure I was going slow enough where I could still see him behind me. So it was a 55-mile-an-hour zone. I had gotten away from a traffic light or a stop sign, or something had happened, and I was waiting for him to catch up. And so I was doing 51 miles an hour, and we are literally in the middle of nowhere. I could not, I mean, I could take you there this day because I know where it is, but I don't know where it is in relative to the rest of Wisconsin. So we're driving along in the middle of nowhere, and a lot of Wisconsin is middle of nowhere, just for the record. But we're trying to make time, get our way back. It'll take a while, but, I got none but time. It was midnight on whatever, Friday night, Saturday night, whatever. And again, there was lockdowns. Nothing was going on. I had nothing else to do. So we're driving back, and all of a sudden, at 51 miles an hour, I see this dumbass deer flying into the, like in a field, cornfield, whatever this field was, to my right. I just see the deer, and he's moving very fast and sprinting at full speed. And I see him as he's entering the roadway. And of course, I have no time to react. This deer just is dumb. And literally runs right in front of me, and I pile drive the shit out of this deer with my right front. I mean, I hit it right on the right front headlight of poor Scoot. And he got hit pretty good. Obviously, 50 miles an hour is not a small impact. And I just remember seeing, like, the front legs, like the bottom front of the deer, like the front legs basically, fly in front of me, in front of me, directly in front of me from the driver's seat, as the rest of the deer flies off to the right. And I don't know where any of these pieces looked up, because I never went back and searched the area. But I just remember the deer being not really split in half, but it seemed like I'd split this deer in half. But anyway, so I didn't know what to do exactly quickly. So we were in the middle of nowhere again, lockdowns, empty roadway on a 55-mile-an-hour kind of country highway. So I didn't really have any preconception about where we were or where I was supposed to stop. I'd never had a car crash before at the time. And so I just kind of pulled into the middle of the road, because there was like a center median raised divider, but it wasn't a wall. Like, you could drive onto the opposite oncoming traffic if you wanted to, but of course, again, nobody out. So I stopped there, and then 3 seconds later realized that's really stupid. So I pull over to the right side on the hard shoulder, and I get out and walk around to look at the damage. And by the time, 30 seconds later, other said college roommate that I was keeping an eye on is coming up towards us. I flag him down, because he told me later, he's like, oh man, I saw that guy hit something, it must have been a deer or whatever, oh, that sucks for him. And then as he got closer, he's like, oh shit, that's Justin. And I was like, yep, you really should stop. So I start waving at him, and he realizes he should stop, of course, and make sure I'm okay and figure something out. And so it's after midnight now at this point, and we're sitting here with poor Scoot, and I looked around at the right front headlight, and it's just all the coolant has come out of it in 1 minute. I mean, I must have hit it right on wherever the radiator is on a Gen 3 Prius, and all the coolant came out, all the fluids came out of the front of the car, but the airbag hadn't fired. I was very surprised by that development. I was perfectly fine. It hadn't hit me too hard. I wasn't bruised or anything, obviously. A little bit shaken up, but I say this in a loving way. In the sim, I've crashed a lot of cars, so like I wasn't surprised by what had happened after I hit the deer. I knew it was going to happen once I saw that I was hitting this deer. I knew what a car accident was going to seem like. Obviously, you don't feel it and you don't prepare for that, but I knew what it was going to be like. And so we walk around, we look at my car, and it's not going anywhere. It's totally destroyed. We're not able to move it. It's not whatever, and I don't want to run the thing with no coolant in it because that would just be dumb. So we have to call, of course, a local police officer. I just call 911 and they send someone out to me. But again, I don't know where we are. I don't know how to describe where we are. We're in the middle of nowhere. So I just tell them roughly where we are in terms of the city name and about how far we've been driving. It was not far. It was about 5 minutes. And then call said groom to be like, hey, just want to let you know I just hit a deer. We're good. We're fine. I'm good. Said roommate stopped with me. We're just going to wait to see what we have to do with Scoot and then how we're going to get back. I'll let you know if you need anything. And he doesn't answer because he's been drinking much more than other roommate had, and of course more than I had, and so he doesn't answer until later. But anyways, we're waiting there, and after literally a half an hour, I don't know why they were waiting so long. They must not thought it was very urgent, or they couldn't find us or something. But finally, a law enforcement officer comes and finds us, and they obviously start a tow truck towards us because this car is going to have to get towed to wherever, which is fine by me because I have roommate, other guy there to drive us home. Now, as the officer is doing this, I do not want the cop to go see said other roommate because I know he'd been drinking. I know he was fine to drive, but you don't want to give anybody any excuses that has nothing to do with no cars on the road during COVID to go get curious. I did not want that. So I kept him by my car, kept him talking, whatever. And we talked for a little bit about what the game plan was and how I was supposed to register said deer in an auto accident, blah, blah, blah. The tow truck company that was coming to pick up my car, all this stuff, whatever. And at some point he goes, well, okay, I'll be right back. I have to go shoot the deer. I'm like, what do you mean you have to shoot the deer? He's like, well, the deer is still alive. I went back and looked at it earlier, and it's still moving around. I'm like, what do you mean it's still moving around? I hit it at 51 miles an hour, and its front legs flew off. He's like, yeah, I know, but it's still alive. I'm like, well, by all means, goodness gracious, please go kill it, poor thing. Like, it's been sitting here half an hour. We've been sitting talking and waiting for you. It's just struggling back there and suffering. Like, kill the poor thing. Jeez. So he goes and does that, but as I do that, I don't have a chance to go tell roommate that this is going to happen. Of course, I don't want to go up to his truck and tell him this. And so he just hears a gunshot, and of course, unfortunately, this is during a lot of the protests for incidents that involved police officers at the time. And he just hears a gunshot and is like, holy shit, what did Justin do? What happened? But I walked up to him. I was like, hey, we're good. We're just figuring out this tow truck thing. We'll be back. So whatever. The cop goes, puts the deer down. Thankfully, he was done suffering. Thank goodness. And comes back to talk with me, and we wait, and the tow truck eventually arrives. And again, this during lockdowns, nobody really knows what the lockdowns are all about, how necessary they are, what kind of precautions I should be taking. And tow truck driver gets out, and he's, I don't know, an 80-year-old man. And he just walks right up to us like, hey, how's it going? Tough night for you, huh? Blah, blah, blah. And just like spitting all over the place. I don't believe in this. It's just the flu, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care how you feel about it. Just hook up my dang car and let's go. Like, it's 1 a.m. now. And like, I want to go home. Like, I'm tired. I was already up late. It's been a long day. We still have a 45-minute drive back, and I don't have my car anymore. Just hook it up and let's go. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, no problem. Sure. No, here's where we go. He gives me his card so I can go find my car again in the future, whatever. And that all happens, and I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. Like, what the hell? And I don't know how to get this guy to stop, like, talking in my face so I can hopefully appropriately distance, because I did not want to catch said virus, because as a CF patient, it could be very, very deadly, very, very, very bad. It can make me very sick. So I wanted to avoid this at all costs, and again, not knowing what the deal was at this point, and literally my first time out of the house in like 3 months. So we're getting towards the end of the battery here, so I better wrap this story up. But anyways, I have brownies with me because I baked brownies, because that's basically the only thing I can reliably bake. I can cook okay. I'm not a great cook, but I'm not a great baker by any means. And all I have is brownies that I'd made for this bachelor party. And so I offer this freaking tow truck driver a couple brownies, because I'm like, anything to get you to go and actually shut the hell up and go do your job so we can get out of here. So he takes the couple brownies and goes on his way and hooks up my car, and I go back into said roommate's truck, and I'm just like, holy shit, let's get out of here. Like, I know where my car is going. It'll be good. It'll be a problem for another day. It's 1 a.m. It's fine. Let's go. So that was all good. Had to drive my the car my brother was using at the time, to the wedding a couple weeks later because my car still was not fixed. But somehow they didn't total it, maybe because the airbags didn't go off. It was able to be repaired. There was a lot of repairs to be done, but went on and owned it for like another 2 and a bit years after that. So it was fine. It was a great car. I say it saved my life. I don't know if it saved my life or I just hit the the nose in the perfect way that it didn't fire the airbags. I don't think this would have killed me regardless. I mean, I didn't hit it that hard and I didn't hit it that fast, and it's not like it flew up into the windshield or anything. But it was a testament to how safe Toyotas are. Especially, again, I loved mine. And actually, the other one that my family member owned, this other Gen 2 car, was involved in another big accident separately. So both the Priuses that my family has owned have had major accidents. But yeah, so they're obviously well-built cars. I trust them with my life, and they're safe and they're comfortable. And again, the hybrid powertrain with good fuel economy is all very good. So, that's just kind of my Prius story. We must be running out of boost juice battery juice here because we are significantly slower down the straights now than we were 5 laps ago. But so yeah, this rambled on a little bit. It was a little bit of a longer story, but I realized that that's kind of the main story I have with Scoot and the Prius brand, and I don't think I'd ever really told it for the channel. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you drop that like, sub down below if you want to see more from Gran Turismo 4. I have plenty more car stories coming, plenty more other stories, always iRacing content, other racing games, Camaro content, everything else. So I appreciate you all so very much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll just park over here because we're going so slow at this point. It's irrelevant. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and apparently the car is going to creep forward by itself, but that's fine. So thank you all so much. Till next time, as always, bye.